Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another penny stock market watch. This is where we take a look at the best selling cards under $5. I don't know. Does anybody know what relevance means? I've been meaning to ask. Because A to Z, that's obviously alphabetical. Price high to low, that's obviously, and low to high. It's obvious, right? Best selling is, what does relevance mean? I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about the best selling cards here from this is Halloween, October 31st, 2021. Like I mentioned, I'm trying not to just become very repetitive on these penny stock market watches where I'm always talking about the same cards. Like I know last week I talked about Kit, right? Last week I talked about Solemn Strike from Dual Devastator. Honestly, all versions of Solemn Strike are doing really well. I'm going to just double check to see how all versions are doing. Um, the common is still relatively cheap. This has actually gone down, I believe, in price. Or at least, let's see, one second. Sometimes they have like the mod. They have like a moderately played version or like a light play for $4, and it's like affecting that price. But definitely try if you don't have your playset of Solemn Strike and you want your playset of Solemn Strike, definitely pick that up. But like I said, I talked about that last week. I don't want to reiterate myself. Still not talking about the 21 megatons. It is interesting to see though. Um, Torn Scales is starting to kind of pull away as far as the most bought card under $5 from the tins. I mean, just looking at it makes a lot of sense. It's Torn Scales, which is a very, very important piece and a very good reprint for Phantom Knights because, I mean, you look at the other versions, $17, right? So you can get, if I'm good at math here, 17 divided by 3, you can get about 5 of them, right? Or you can get one of the other version, right? And then we look at Lulu, and then the upgraded version of Parallel Exceed is number 3, and then number 4 is Dogmatic Punishment, super great reprint there, and then Alpha, which is another great reprint there as well, and then more Megaton stuff. But the first card I want to talk about, and it should be fairly obvious, is Psyframe Gear Gamma, and everybody and their mother is trying to figure out their way to stop Sword Soul, right? So, Psyframe Gear Gamma, High Speed Riders original version is gone. The first, I believe this was the first reprint, Extreme Force. It's not gone, but it's at $26, and that's not what we're here to talk about, right? So what we're talking about is the one under $5, right? And we look, when is it going to jump to up to $5? Um, Honestly, these three at 4.99. That's $4.99 is $5, but officially, it's not until Vision Card Inc. here, right? So officially, it's not till there, but realistically, once the 4.99 mark, even the 4.90 mark is essentially $5, right? And right now, it's still sitting. You can get a few copies. You can get some German copies for $4. You can get these. There's 15 here at 420. Once these are gone, we're basically looking at a $5 card. Like this is no longer on the penny stock market watch, and this is the cheapest version of Psyframe Gear Gamma that you can get. And what I love about Gamma is that it's good going first or second, right? And that's why a lot of people like to run it. Now, the reason I don't usually run it, like if you look at the deck profiles on this video, you'll never see a Psyframe Gear Gamma, is because of the driver. I don't love running the driver, and there's a lot of instances where that comes up, right? I understand it's one copy in a 40 card deck, but that's a lot of instances where that comes up. So that's why I personally won't be picking this up. But if you did want to pick up Psyframe Gear Gamma, maybe you sold your original copies, you're just going to pick up a cheaper playset later, or you've been meaning to play test around with it. Because, like I said, it is good going first or second. Obviously, it's good going second because of the monster negation, but it's also good going first if you're running a spell heavy deck. Right? Now, if you're running a monster heavy deck, it's not as good. Like I look at Phantom Knights, for example. I don't really see where Cypher Gear Gamma is going to work. But we look at like Prank Kids, for example. You activate the field spell, they ash it, you activate Cypher Gear Gamma, you get yourself a free level 8 synchro if you're running a target for it. So just something to keep in mind. This is the best selling card under $5, and it will probably not be there for very long. Just to keep it very real, because it is almost at that $5 mark. As we get to a lot of tins, we're back on the Veilers. I did talk about this card a lot last week. when I talked about this card last, this guy Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily, one, they were not the top person. They were not the top. There was like four other people ahead of them, and two, there was like 246 or like 260 some odd copies. There are only 33 left on the market, right? So people, and it's not okay. It would make sense if it was, because I've been checking this as out a lot as well. If one person just like bought 100 of them, right? That's not what's been happening. That's not what's been happening. It's like a bunch of people are buying 3 copies, 4 copies, 2 copies, 3 copies. I myself, I actually used, and probably a lot of people were doing this. I used the bonus bucks that I got from the most recent promotion, and I used all of them, all like $8 of them, to get 4 copies of this card. The reason why this card is shooting up in price is because it didn't get the reprint in the structure deck, right? And this is a very, very crucial card in Cyber Dragons, and all other copies are above $5, right? So this one's on its way. It's making its way there. And once this card hits $5, it's possible that these cards would get affected by that as well. But those are over $5. It's the penny stock market watch. Don't talk about cards above $5, right? I just wanted to reiterate that this card was doing well last week, and it is still doing very well. Another card I wanted to bring up, Salomon Great Owl Mirage. So the original secret rare version is really expensive, right? Not what we're here for. Really expensive. I mean, $16 is not really expensive, but it kind of is. I mean, if you think about it, like, okay, you can buy this version. I mean, there's only one of this version, but you can buy this version for $1, right? Or I wouldn't trust that. I would not trust this one as far as I could throw. I would not trust 0% feedback on 78 sales on a car. I mean, if you want to roll the dice, it's $2 and normally it's $4. I don't know, but you can buy essentially 4 of these, right, for the same price as one of the other one, right? And so with that logic, I can get a playset for less of one version of a card. That's for me. That's where it turns too expensive, right? Once these 34 are gone, you got the Euro printings here. I don't trust when people have pictures, but it looks nice. It looks like a nice picture. I don't trust. Why are you showing me? Why are you showing me? I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that at all, right? As we slowly head back here. This is though the biggest thing about this card. Getting back to Sound Great Rush, one normal summoned monster with 1,000 or less attack. A lot of Link 1 monsters have arrows here, here, or here. Or a lot of Link 1 monsters are very, very specific with what you have to use to summon them. This is not that specific. Salmon Great Almirage has always found its way in and out of random formats because if you're running a deck that's normal summons a monster with 1,000 or less attack, you can run Solomon Great Almirage and start moving some stuff around, start moving some pieces around. And there's just a lot of really great interactions that this card has, and you really don't need more than 3. Like Salomon Great, don't even really run this card. Like you don't need this card more at 3, right? So if you want to roll the dice and buy this one, it could be good. That could be very good. But there's also 34 copies from a verified seller as well, for $4. So that's totally up to you. But that's definitely something to keep an eye out for because you don't need it, but just because it's not very necessary doesn't mean it can't start to shoot up in price and go super duper high. Another card I wanted to talk about, Cyber Dragon Nova. Why? Same reason for Seeger. Same reason for Seeger. I'm not trying to boost all the Cyber Dragon cards, right? Galaxy Soldier's already on the moon. Galaxy Soldier's already on the moon. He's just inviting everybody else to come join him, right? But it's all of these cards. Let me look at this card too real quick. Just real quick. I know it's not one of the best selling cards, but this card, as well as Cyber Dragon Nova, as well as Cyber Dragon Seeger, and a couple of other Cyber Dragon cards, just didn't get the reprint, right? So we look at the structure decks. So they're all sitting. Well, this one's 498 damaged. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. That's why you can't trust those. And then the first near mint is over. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's over $5. And then we have the OTS common. We have the super rare version, which is coming out in the OTS 17. And then we have the one that brought us here, which was the one from the Legendary Dragon decks. So honestly, it really isn't the worst buy. This one really isn't that bad of a buy. Um, and it's interesting because I came here because the legendary Dragon Dex one was getting bought out a lot. Um, Bunch of copies have been sold recently. But if it was me, I mean, you might want to wait because I don't really love the idea of the pre-sale game, but this is a really solid pre-sale target, right? Think about this for a second. The other version that isn't a common is about a $9 card, right? That's number one. Number two, it didn't get the reprint, like I said, and this is not just a one of. This is like a two or maybe even a three of in Cyber Dragon specifically. But this is also a very good card in other decks as well. Like any deck that can summon out two level 5 machine type monsters or summon out monsters that can turn into two level 5 machine type monsters. This card is great. And we've seen this card specifically been splashed in a lot of things. So if you want a common version for $5 or another common version for $5, that's fine. Or you can get this super rare version and there's not a lot of listings left. Um, yeah, there's all of these people are selling it. I mean, they're sitting at about $5, which is really cool. Like everywhere is sitting. This is about 514. There's seven at 514. There's some at 540, 550. This one's selling at about, I think it's almost about $5, $6. It's about 550. This is about $6 now. But a lot of these, this is a very easy buyout target. Now, obviously, OTS 17. It should be pre-sale, right? I think it's still pre-sale. Um, so obviously you're gonna have to wait to get the card. Maybe wait for OTS 17 to come out. It might dip in price, but it might shoot up in price because people might realize, okay, so the common's a $5 card, the other common's a $5 card, the structure deck's a $9 card. Why shouldn't the super rare from an OTS pack be even higher, right? Because OTS packs are just notorious for just a good amount of value, just value, value, value. Getting to his buddy Cyber Dragon Infinity, the dual overload version. I just wanted to see what this looked like. The dual overload version is under $4, and then the maximum gold version that just came out is $5. Maximum gold came out recently. They're still all over Meyer shells and Walmart shells now. This card is, unless you want the Korean versions that you can't play, this card is actually not a penny stock. Um, but it's probably not going to fluctuate in price either. So this is the only version of Cyber Dragon Infinity, which is a penny stock. And like I said, when I was talking about Seeger, when I was talking about Nova, it didn't get the reprint in the structure deck. So once we see, I mean, the first verified sale, this guy's selling one at $4, or girl, could be a girl as well. This one's $5. This one's $5. $5, right? So right about here, it's no longer a penny stock. So this is very close to no longer being allowed on this as well. And this is the cheapest version. There are, excuse me, 5 versions of this card. And this version right here is like 4 or 5 of them being bought away from being no longer a penny stock. I'm no longer a penny stock Yu-Gi-Oh card. And if we go back to these pages here, it starts to turn to $6. It gets to $7 kind of quick, and then boom, $15. Korean version for $30. $8, $9, really, really quick. So keep your eye on all versions of Cyber Dragon Infinity, Cyber Dragon Nova, Cyber Dragon Seeger, because all of those cards are going up in price, and there's definite possibility that those 3 cards that I said, all versions of those 3 cards will be over $5 in like a month or two because they didn't get the reprint in the structure deck, right? And it's insane, but it is what it is. That's just kind of how the Yu-Gi-Oh market works. Now this one's kind of interesting. This is the one I wanted to end on. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. This card's kind of bad, but kind of good. I'm curious. I think it's because this is the alternate art. Why this one's being sold more than the other ones. But if we look at all the listings, none of the listings have over 100. The highest level of listings is actually the one that's been sold the most, right? Why isn't that's a little? It's kind of ironic, right? The one with the most listings is the one that's being sold the most because all the other Ghost Ogre cards, some are like All the other Ghost Ogre versions, like this one's got 20, this one's 32, this one's 68, 42, 72, 41, 38, right? And this one has 74. It's not close, but it's on the path to, right? It's like, has anyone seen? I think that's a Star Wars shirt. Not. Has anyone seen Star Wars where Yoda tells Anakin, "Fear is the path of dark side," and he tells him the whole thing, and then we watch the whole prequel trilogy on how Anakin turns to the dark side. It's a really bad analogy, but it's like that. This is starting down the path of a buyout, right? Because obviously these two are gone. We lost these two, never to see the original version or the ultimate rare from the OTS pack ever again, right? And now we're going to start to see this is a heavy plate for $2. First near mint is $3. And there aren't too many copies of the premium gold, infinite gold, it's about 38, right? Legendary collection Kaiba. Mod plays 250s. First near mint is about $3, almost $4, right? It's it looks like okay when you because at first glance you're like okay there's 6 versions of Ghost Ogre for under $3, right? But if you really dive deep and you really look into it, like this is not it's like $3. A lot of heavy plays near. There's one near mint for $3 holding the line. There's another one there for about $2 holding the line or $3 there. And then we look and wait and wait, and now we're sitting at about $3 again, and then we keep going, and it's about $4. So I don't want to say the reason why I do the penny stock market watch, Ghost Ogres bring up a good point here, is because I just want to keep people informed about the cards because cards like just randomly go from being $2 to $3 to $4 to $5 to $10 to $20, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I really wish I bought that card. I remember when that card was $2. I really would have known in hindsight, right? I'm just trying to give people that hindsight idea, and all the Cyber Dragon cards are very good targets. Kit and Solemn Strike are still good targets. Cyframe Gear Gamma is a great target right now if you plan on running it, or even if you plan on selling it, to be honest. A lot of the cards from the Megatons are very, very solid as well. But then also Ghost Ogre, and especially this version of Ghost Ogre. This is the only alternate art we have of Ghost Ogre, right? And so 8 copies of Ghost Ogre, and only 1 copy has an alternate art. It's something to keep your eye on, right? It's something to go when you're on TCG Player in a couple of weeks or in a month. You're like, let's see where Ghost Ogre's at, and then all of a sudden, if the card that was $2 everywhere is $3 everywhere, it's starting to walk down the path of the dark side, if that makes sense. But let me know what you guys think. What cards under $5 are you looking for? Let me know in those comments down below. Click that like button to show your support for the channel. Do about a weekly penny stock market watch video, so make sure you guys subscribe for next week's video. I'll also be posting deck profiles as well on this channel, so let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. Click that like button like I said, but most importantly of all, have a good day.